Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lucy's Paradise podcast. I have a guest I'm so excited about. super excited about this guest. Before I go into and introducing our guest, I wanted to shout out real quick Wolfpack Adventures. They have been amazing at taking care of my little son, Nobu. They take him on adventures. If you're interested in this for your animal here in Hawaii, you can check out their Instagram at Wolfpackadventures.hi. Check them out. Link will be in the description. I'm also wearing my brand of clothes, Legends Only. If you want to look at that, they'll also be in the description. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Battle.
What's up?
So, Battle, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And I guess we could start by, if you want to just tell me a little bit about you and how we know each other.
So my name is kurvon.battle, also known as the King. I'm like a professional fighter from Mililani, Hawaii. You know, just doing my doing my thing. Also, like, I love Jesus. Praise the Lord. Jesus Christ is King, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Yeah, me and Lucy, we met at like UFC gym because, you know, like I coach over there, UFC gym Mililani. Yeah, I just remember like coming in. I just remember you like just being like a new hire because I was already there for a little bit. And I was like, you were pretty cool. I was like, nice, like, yeah, that's cool. And I remember when you got your hair bleached blonde too. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, it kind of reminded me of like a Super Saiyan. And I was like, you're literally like a Super Saiyan right now. And I always kept telling you like, hair is so cool. But yeah, Lucy's cool. I remember we met at UFC, so that's pretty sweet.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And yeah, so a little bit about Kurvon. Like he said, he's a professional fighter. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, like how you got into that?
Yeah, so like I'm a pro kickboxer, but I also fight in pro boxing, and I'll be doing like pro MMA soon too. So look out for that. Awesome. Yeah, actually I started at UFC Gym Mililani with my coach Mikey Mitchell. Like I beat up my bully freshman year. Like he was bullying me, and I beat him up. So you know that's how that goes. Got into sparring, ended up at UFC Gym. Then I was just sparring over there. And then my coach was there, and he was like, oh, wow, this kid's pretty good. And he hit me up. He's like, I can make you a champion. And I was like, okay, bet, well, let's do it then. And then, boom, here I am today. Literally,
wow.
8-time kickboxing champion.
Wow.
Professional, getting paid to fight, you know, living the good life, traveling, all that good stuff. So, yeah, like, I love to fight. It's fun.
So do you feel like you were discovered then by somebody, right? Because you're
yes,
back to that story. Like, mm-hmm. And that's what I like to dive into. Like when you tell a story, I do like to pick that out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that, like more in depth, if you don't mind, the bullying.
The bullying part.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so I think freshman year in high school, I had this friend, and he also had a friend, this mutual friend, and like we both didn't like him that much because he would like lie and like do other things. I don't want to go deep into that because him and I are cool now, but like
right.
And so I would say like him and I would like kind of like talk junk about him. Right, me being honest, and then he went and told him, and then so he was like, yeah, like he was trying to play two sides for some reason.
Right.
And he's like, bro, we're gonna fight, dog. And I was kind of like not a wimp, but like small kind. He's like, bro, we're gonna fight. And I'm like, I don't want to fight. And he's like, no, we're gonna fight.
Wait, paint the picture though. How big were you like freshman year? Like I'm just trying to visualize like who you were as a kid because I know you as Kurvon Battle now. You know what I mean?
So
like lower confidence.
Yeah, lower confidence. I was like, I probably weighed probably 175, 180.
So you're still pretty tall.
Yeah, I was still pretty tall.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a good size of a bloke. Yeah. But yeah, that kid, he just.
So he wanted to fight you for talking smack, and you're like not into it. Like,
yeah, not into it.
Dude. I'm not a fighter.
I was like, bro, I will literally like give you money. And he was like, I'll just knock you out and take your money. And I was like, oh my God, bro, I don't want to fight. And then my good friend, Brody Nunez, he passed away maybe about a year ago. Rest in peace to Brody. I remember like he was like, it's the last, oh my gosh, okay, look. This is the last class of the day, right?
Yeah.
And no one in school knew about the fight yet. Like, no one knew, right?
Okay.
I remember, like, I walk into the bathroom, and it just so happens that the boy I'm fighting and the friend are both in there. I'm like, oh, no. And he's like, oh, are you ready for a fight? And I was like, I guess so. and like, one of the popular kids in school was in the bathroom. He's like, oh, you guys are going to fight? And he's like, yeah, we're going to fight. He's like, oh, bet. I'm telling everyone. And boom, zoomed out the bathroom. told everyone, and I was like, bro, I was so close. Yeah. Then I went out there. Brody had my back. He's like, bro, you're gonna just beat him up, bro. You got this. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna lose, dog. I just remember like walking on. Yeah, like I was. Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
This is the best story I've ever heard in my life.
Right. It's definitely like a start to like a journey.
Because this is like a defining moment for you, really. Like this was you as a freshman, like really not trying to be involved in this fight.
Right.
It's really coming to you, and then you're like, okay, what do I do? Like as a young man, like at this point, like everyone knows about it, and now it's happening. So you just how'd it go? I mean, you beat him.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It was like. That's the thing,
Did
too.
you not think about it that way until I said it that way?
Well, like, when you put it that way, like, because the thing is, like, you know, like, as you know, like, I'm a like, man of God and everything, and the way I see it is, like, everything kind of happens for a reason, and everything plays out the way it's supposed to, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, all the bad that kind of happens to your life, like, it's going to shape you. It's going to shape you into a stronger vessel, and it's kind of interesting to think, like, how you put it, like, I wanted to take no part in it,
right?
But the fact that it came to me, and it's like, it's on my plate, and now I have to deal with it, and, like, it literally shaped me into who I am today.
Right.
And like now, like I don't even fight for my own glory. Like I fight for the glory of my Father in heaven. You know what I mean? I fight for for the pride of the Lord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, like when you kind of like said it to me like that, like put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Cause like a thing too, like I said,
and
like
that I think too, like for like how it shaped your belief too, like because with that and I mean I know we're like going on this, but if you think about that as like a defining moment in your life. Something like you said, like you weren't running towards that at all. You were like, no, like I don't want to be involved in this so much that I will literally pay you to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Which is valid. And this guy's like, no, like this is happening.
Yeah.
And then that realization, I think too, like fast forward, now we're in this moment, like, and what you're just saying of like, you don't even fight for yourself in the first place. You know what I mean? And like back then, like, you kind of just had to like kind of just deal with it.
Yeah.
And like just fight in that moment, Yeah.
I
don't know. Then that sounds like a good big intro to a movie or something.
Yeah. Right.
Like that first defining moment,
I kind of want to make a movie one day, or like the whole fight story. You know what I mean? Fight story.
Yeah, you can make a movie of your life. Yeah, for sure. But that would be like one of the defining moments, like before it fast forward to like you now.
Right.
Is like. You didn't even know you had that ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you like in terms of like how that fight went? Like, do you feel was it that profound, or was it just like whatever you kind of like shook it off, and then down the road you were like, okay, maybe I can fight, or was that the moment you were like, no, man, I can like actually fight? Like this is crazy.
Well, how it happened was like I said, I was super scared and everything. And then I just remember like walking to the field, because this is at like Mililani High School. That's the school I went to. Shout out to Mililani. I walked into the tennis courts, and I just remember like being scared. And like when I stepped on that field or that court, and I seen him like across from me, and then just feeling the sun like on my skin, like feeling the light, like literally looking back at it, it's kind of like the Lord like open up the clouds and shine the light on me, like, bro, like you got this, bro, like just have faith. And like singing in that very moment, I was like, nah, dog, screw that, bro. Like, we're gonna scrap, bro. Like, I'm gonna take you out. Like, you wanna fight me? Okay, we're gonna fight then.
Yeah.
I just remember coming out and then like just like boom. I still have the video too. I'll show it to you after.
Oh my god,
yeah,
I
still have the video.
I love that.
And I remember just coming out, I'm like, huh, and like he throws like a little lame kick. And I'm just jabbing and just jabbing.
Wow.
Never trained. I did karate as a kid, like for a little bit. Just jab,
but nothing
jab.
serious. Yeah,
nothing serious.
Were you like into like God and stuff at this time too? Like at this age, like what was your like relationship then at that point?
I feel like as a freshman, I probably like acknowledged, but not really, because like
you weren't as in okay.
Nowhere near, because like
okay.
Growing up, I grew up as like a Christian, like as a child, like I was praying and everything. I think by the time like high school came around, like I kind of fell away. Like, oh, like the reason I did, like, do we even know if Jesus was even a real person and all these things?
Right.
Mind
Which
you,
we do.
We do. Like, it's
which we do have evidence of now.
We have evidence outside of the Bible that he literally died on the cross under Pontius Pilate. Okay,
yeah.
we like it's out there, but
yeah.
like so.
Joe Rogan even talks about it on his podcast. If you want to look that up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the thing is like even though I wasn't like I didn't acknowledge God or Jesus, who is God, by the way. But anyways, even though I didn't acknowledge him, I feel like he was still with me that entire time.
Right.
And he was letting me flourish and grow through everything that I went through. Everything that I went through, like, it all led to me meeting him.
Right.
We'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. No, for sure. But, okay, so that's crazy. If you guys don't know that much about Kurvon.battle, please look him up. He has a fight coming up April 20th. He's going to be fighting Troy Bullock, right? Do you know anything about this guy? Like,
yeah, he's an Aussie from Melbourne.
Okay.
Melbourne, Australia.
And where's the fight? Is that where it is?
Yeah, it's in Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so you're going to Australia to fight this guy.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
How is that, like, traveling to a new place? You know, like, traveling to go fight somebody. Like, because a fight is one thing, but then when you're traveling, you're, like, in this new place. Like, how is that? How does that feel?
It's definitely fun. Like, you kind of, like, get used to it. I've done it, like, a good, like, I feel like most of my fights now are off island.
Right.
The first time I ever fought off island was in Mexico.
Wow.
And
that's
that
crazy.
was
that
crazy.
Sounds crazy.
Because the thing is, I went by myself at first.
Dang.
Because my coach's flight, like, got messed up.
Oh, no.
And then so I had to fly to, like, Mexico by myself.
Oh, my gosh.
Not realizing that I'm going to be in a foreign country where they don't speak English.
Yeah.
And I stepped out of that airport. And instantly I was like, oh no, like, I don't, like, what am I doing? And I had no ride to where I was going or anything. So I had to just sit out there for like I think like a good, like, 5 hours just waiting, like, trying to text people, like trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, fighting in, like, in a new place, like, you get used to it, but it's always fun. It's always a fun experience. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's such a great experience.
How is that going up against people like that? Because you're straight up, like, fighting them.
Yeah.
You know? Kickboxing and boxing, and obviously the next level, MMA. And the reason I think of it in my mind as, like, the next level is just because you have more, like, things in your pocket to use, I guess. You know what I mean? Versus, like, if you're just doing kickboxing and boxing, right? But how is that, dude? Like, that's crazy.
It's fun. It definitely, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, when they think of fighting, they think it's, like, just physical. But, like, I can tell you right now, like, at least 70% of it is mental. Because you can train, like, all you want, but if you're mentally not there,
right.
like, you're not going to be able to perform. Like, it takes, like, a lot of, like, mental strength to even just to be able to step in the ring, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people would be, like, scared or worried.
Right.
The nerves can, like, eat up at you, but something you have to realize that the nerves and anxiety is, like, the same feeling as excitement, and just being able to distinguish it. Like, I feel like earlier in my career, like, I'd always get excited before I got into my fights.
Right.
And then more since I turned pro, like, I have more nerves, but I love the feeling of the nerves because, like, the nerves tells me, like, that's when you know you're alive is when you're feeling the nerves.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're like, you're here. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fighting is such a thrill, bro. Such a thrill.
What about as a kid? Like, what were you like as a kid, and where'd you grow up?
Well, I kind of, like, lived all over as a kid. My parents were in the Navy. As a kid, I was, like, I did, like, a little bit of karate. The funny thing is, as a kid, like, I remember, like, my parents signed me up for karate, and I was like, Mom and Dad, I don't want to do karate anymore. I want to do martial arts. I want to do martial arts. Not knowing that, like, literally martial arts is an umbrella term. Karate is a martial art.
Yeah.
But, like, as a kid, like, I was into football, and then I got into skateboarding. I thought I was going to be a pro skater for a while. Got into football again.
We all think we're gonna be a pro skater.
Yeah,
dude.
skating was, like, that was...
Tony Hawk came out and we're just obsessed. Dude.
That was my jam, bro.
Yeah.
I love skating. Bro.
I was at the skate park literally every day. The
Yeah?
Milani skate park, every single day.
Milani skate park?
Yeah.
Real?
Every single day. Every single day.
Wait, where did you grow up?
Milani.
Yeah, let's go.
Milani. Dude.
M-Town, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah,
Millville, dude.
Yeah, give me that. Right on.
I was born in Wahiawa. I claim Wahiawa real hard.
Oh, for real?
Because I went to high school in Wahiawa.
You went to Lelahua? Yeah, I don't remember you telling me that.
I did 2 years at Milani and 2 years at Lelahua. And at Milani, I played basketball and all that. I played hockey in Milani, whatever. But then when
hockey?
Yeah, man, I played for 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They had hockey for the school?
Roller hockey for Milani Town at 10 acres.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, dude. I always forget that.
Dude, I played hockey before they had the borders that they have now. Like, before they built the actual fence and borders. I played when there was, like, the little black ones you had to jump over. It was ghetto, dude. It was ghetto. Like, we didn't even wear mouthpieces half the time or elbow pads. Like, we just were like, yeah, which I learned my lesson. But, you learn your lesson real quick, not being protected.
100%.
But, yeah, I pretty much grew up in Milani.
Right on.
For the most part. But when I got into high school and I was going to Lalahua, dude, that was just fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So you went Lalahua for all 4 years?
No, the last 2. So junior year, senior year.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But Milani, when we would do anything, and we're up to no good at all, right? Because now there's the Canes there at that corner.
Yeah.
Before Canes, there was Burger King.
Yep.
That's what it was. King. That's where everyone hung out until they like banned that. But before that, we would hang out at the tunnels behind Milani.
Rainbow Tunnel or like the one that's gated up now?
The tunnels that are gated up, because at one point it wasn't gated up. Back in the day, it wasn't gated up. And we were all up to no good in those tunnels, smoking and joking and whatever else. Yeah, Milani, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what these kids do, you know, because I was doing all of it. So.
Yeah.
But
Hawaiianas, that was a spot in high school for a little bit.
But did you grow up here?
So like, I was actually born on an island, just not the Hawaiian Islands, unfortunately. I was born like in like Washington State, and then like I lived in Florida, grew up a little bit, then Japan, and then Italy, then Alabama, and then I ended up in Hawaii when I was in middle school.
Okay.
In 8th grade, and then like I've been here ever since, and like you know what I mean.
Okay,
like,
that makes sense. So 8th grade, high school is all here.
Yeah, young adult life.
Dang, Hawaii living.
Yeah, for real. Like, I mean, I don't know where else I'm supposed to call home. You know what I mean? Like, this is home to me. You know what I mean? This is like where I grew up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like majority, like this is my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, so yeah.
So where do you see yourself now then in the next 5, 10, like in boxing, like MMA, all this stuff? Like, where do you see yourself? Like, what are your goals?
Definitely like fighting in one championship as like a kickboxer and an MMA fighter. I'm probably just gonna do both, to be honest. Yeah, my coach Mikey Mitchell, and my coach Christian Lee and Ken Lee, all right, legends. They both see me doing both. Dual sport champion. Let's go.
Yeah dude, that'd be sick. I could totally see that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Dude, that would be so sick to see you, like in a huge UFC fight, like just about to, like who would be like your dream fight? You think?
Dream fight? I guess now, I want to fight Nikki Holskin in kickboxing. Dang. Yeah, give me Nikki Holskin. Like, let's go. One championship. Give me Nikki Holskin. I'll fight on my first fight in there. Let's go. I'll take Nikki Holskin. Let's go.
What do you think about the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight coming up on Netflix?
I can understand like doing it for like, you know, the whole publicity, and I guess there's money in and everything, but like
but aside from that, like
Jake Paul fighting, like,
what do you think? I mean, yeah, regardless of the whole Jake thing, I know people aren't fans of him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan. But, like, I don't really have like necessarily have a problem with him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, he's just doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's just trying to live their life. I think I would like to believe Tyson's gonna win just because, you know, it's Tyson. Like, come on. But then you also have like, you know, Jake having like, you know, the youth advantage. You know what I mean? Like, he's taking his training seriously. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like they both are.
Yeah, right?
Did you watch the interview of Mike Tyson? So he did an interview on the Impulsive podcast.
Okay. Oh, he did?
With Jake's brother.
Yeah.
Logan Paul. And dude has like a handful of mushrooms, puts them in his mouth, and does the whole rest of the interview.
What?
Like that. Like literally like sucking on these mushrooms
at
first. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But it's such an interesting interview though.
Yeah?
You should watch it, dude. It's an interesting interview.
Yeah,
he basically talks about how he was like 200 pounds and then had like an epiphany that he needed to like get it together. And he starts training again. And then I think that's when that opportunity comes. I could be wrong on the timeline, but it sounds like he had some sort of like high epiphany to like get back in shape and like just started getting ripped again.
Right.
And then now he has this fight opportunity. So I don't know. That seems interesting to me. Like what?
Yeah, it
is.
Think
about it. Like he's accomplished so much, so young.
Yeah.
Like now, what is there for him? Mike Tyson wise, you know.
Mike Tyson wise, yeah. It would be. That would be.
Of course, he's gonna destroy Jake. I mean, I don't have a doubt.
I would definitely see Tyson like coming, especially because like we know he's gonna be taking his training serious. Like Tyson, like as soon as he starts hitting the bag, like he's in it already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ran out that dog.
Yeah. He's scary, dude. If I were a boxer, which there's no way because I'm too pretty for that. But if I were hypothetically, right? That's why I gotta just like hit the bag. You know, I can't be getting someone hitting me. I can't do that. But I would never ever say yes to that fight. Yeah. Like out of respect, I'd be like no.
Yeah.
Like, I am not in your caliber, sir.
Right, yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, Tyson in his prime,
Would you,
in his prime?
In his prime, that's a different story, because he was a different animal.
Dude. Yeah.
Would you fight him if you could go back in time and fight Mike Tyson?
In his prime, dude.
How would you feel about that?
Oh my gosh.
Would you just pray for hours?
Yeah, for real. Honestly.
I would pray more than I would train, dude.
Oh my gosh. That would, like, that's like, you're asking for like, I don't know. Like, I like to say yes, to be honest. But I think
to do it, to
like,
try it.
Oh, bro, I'd be sweating
you'd be
blood.
scared.
I'd be sweating.
I'd be
blood.
scared.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah,
but you gotta do it. You gotta do it with the plate. I would just dance at the time, like just dance. Like I would.
You got to, man, because you gotta not get hit. Basically, you know, that's
will
scary.
Literally take your chin off. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about God?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like my favorite topic.
Yeah. This guy got some good music. So yeah, tell me about your relationship with God. You brought your Bible.
Oh yeah, I always got it on me.
So you have a close relationship.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, God is cool.
When did that because you talked a little bit earlier about kind of like in your like freshman young adult-ish like years when you were like feeling a little like, does God even exist? You know, like,
yeah.
And I think that's a normal age to where we all start questioning everything.
100%.
Really, you know. And for me, I definitely had periods of time in my life where I was very like anti.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, and I feel like that's normal because you really just start thinking you know everything.
Right.
You know.
100%.
But yeah, I'm curious about your story, like where that kind of like. Where the light shone for you besides that one fight.
Yeah. So,
you know?
I just remember like at one point, like I think before I left for like my trip, because I spent like 4 months off island in Thailand and Australia, kind of realizing like, damn, like a lot of things like just play out in my life just so perfectly and smoothly, and this is out of my control. I was like, there must be like God like must be real, like, you know what I mean, like it has to be, like there's no way everything can just play out exactly how it's supposed to, and like it's out of my control, you know what I mean. And then so at one point like I left the island because like I had this whole goal, I had this whole plan, like I'm gonna go to so I had my first pro boxing match in Australia, and then I stayed for another month, did another pro boxing match. Yeah, and then so I went to Thailand and I had these plans, like I'm going to join this team Tiger Muay Thai, like I'm going to train there. I had all these plans set out, and then the plans just like didn't work out. Like it didn't work out at all. And I was like, I realized too, like I had an ego. I had a really fat ego thinking like I deserved this and that. And he humbled me. And I realized it too, because like I said, it didn't work out. And then I realized like damn, like I'm over here in this different country trying to join this team, but like Christ literally has something for me at home. Because Christian Lee was texting me. He was like, yeah, man, like when you come back to the islands, like let's train, like let's get on it. So I was like, wow, like he has plans for me, and I'm trying to create my own, but like I just gotta like let it flow. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when I was in Thailand, like things were so bad because the things didn't work out how I planned it to. I got sick, so I wasn't training, like, and I was depressed, like I was bad. I had no money. I was so stressed. I was like, what do I do? Like I'm like freaking out. And I remember like during this trip, like I kept getting this revelation, like cast your worries and doubts onto God. Like let Him take care of you. He will take care of you. And I remember I was in my room depressed, and I was like, you know what? Fine. You're gonna take care of me. You say you're gonna take care of me. Fine. So I sat on my bed, put my hands together, and I prayed like the most genuine prayer. I just laid out everything. Told him how I felt, told him what I wanted, told him everything. Like, asked for him, like, you say you're going to take care of me? Like, please take care of me. I'm putting all my worries on you. I'm not going to worry about anything because you say you're going to take care of me, so show me that you're going to take care of me. And, like, when I was done with that prayer, like, I went from being so worried and scared to actually, like, having peace in my heart, in my soul. And I was like, okay. Like there must be something here.
Yeah.
Because I've never felt like this before.
Yeah.
And so I kept on praying and like just creating a relationship, because that's something I learned is like it's about like having a relationship.
Your own, yeah.
A lot of people
relationship, right?
Yeah, like a lot of people think about prayer as like you just ask for something and you get it, but like that's not how it works. Like it's about building a relationship and like realizing like the path God has for you. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. And so like things kept happening, and like I would just like put 100% faith. Like, for example, like this is like a really cool one. I had no money at all when I was in Thailand, and I was getting ready to leave because I was gonna go back to Australia, and I remember like no money at all, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I had so little money, I had to decide like on the last day if I'm gonna use my money to do my laundry or to eat dinner.
Yeah.
It's either clean clothes or dinner. Like what's your choice? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I had 4 days left, so I prayed. Like, you know what? I said I'm gonna trust God, right?
Right.
Prayed, and I was like, I'm putting my trust into you. You're gonna deliver me from this. Like, just take care of me. I have no money. I'm scared, but I'm trusting you, right? Those 3 or 4 days pass by. Nothing comes in, right? No money, still broke, just surviving. And I remember like out of nowhere, like money just came to me. Like this one guy from the UK. I remember like I told him like, yeah, this is my last day. Like I'm leaving tomorrow. He gives me $50 US. All right, I'm like, okay, cool. Then my friend gives me $25 just out of nowhere. Like, yeah, you can have this $25. I was gonna trade him my cash because I was in Thailand for digital cash. He's like, keep it. So that's like 25 plus 25. What is that? Like 30? That's $30. Sorry, that's not 30. Anyways,
No.
I'm really
He
bad
gave
at
you
math.
50 and then he gave you 25.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's 75 now.
Yeah, 75. And then, bro, my grandma hits me up out of nowhere. She's like, do you want some money?
And you're like, what? This
yeah.
is crazy. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, yeah? She's like, how much do you want? I was like, is 100 a lot? No. You want 200? I'm like, okay. She's like, do you want more? I'm like, no, grandma, 200 is enough. Thank you. And then like, I have a dad.
You want more?
Yeah, you want more?
Can we call her after this? No,
Yeah,
just
right.
kidding.
And like, then my mom also gave me some money. Then also like, cause I have a stepdad and a biological dad, but my stepdad is just my dad. I just refer to him as my dad. But I'm just giving clarity for the story. My biological dad hits me up out of nowhere, gives me $50. So I literally went from having
like, wow.
Yeah, and then
like all this abundance, like
at one moment too.
Yeah.
And
like the last day.
Last day, I'm like,
it was almost like your prayer was answered, but it was like after these 4 days, like you'll know, you know?
Yeah.
And then like that day hit, and you're just like, because I tell people too, like, you know, your worries kind of go away when you just have like full acceptance.
100%.
And that's really what it is. Like it's accepting where you are, and then a lot of the times I find like even if you're not telling anyone like what's going on with you, like people kind of subconsciously like catch on.
Right.
And I feel like those, I don't know, like, because I've had people tell me like, oh, I was guided to like work with you, or I was guided to like give you this money right now, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And it was a time too where like I needed it.
Right.
And then
100%.
like sometimes I've even told them, I'm like, dude, that's crazy because like I really needed this right now. And then they'll say like, Dad, that's so weird because like I really just came into like extra or whatever and was like, I kind of wanted to bless somebody else, you know? And I was like, what? That's crazy.
Perfect timing, right?
It's like a divine timing.
Exactly.
It's a divine timing.
God's timing is always perfect.
Yeah.
He'll never rush you. That's the thing. Like if you ever feel like feeling rushed, like God, like his timing is perfect. He's never gonna rush you.
Right.
It's gonna come in exactly when it's supposed to.
Yeah. So what do you? I'm curious. What do you say, feel, or like your perceptions of people that like don't believe in God? I'm just curious.
Well, some people's hearts are just hardened. Some people look so either your heart is hardened or you just don't understand, or some people just don't want to believe in. You know what I mean? Some people don't like the idea of being responsible for their actions. That was kind of me in high school because like I had some like
that's interesting. That's an interesting thought right there.
Yeah, because like a lot of us like we all live in sin. You know what I mean? Like we all there's a lot of things we do, and like, you know, for example, like sex being an example, like sex before marriage. A lot of people don't like the idea like I can't like sex before marriage. Like people just want to like fornicate and just do all this stuff. Like they don't want to believe that there's like there's repercussions for their actions. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's understandable, but you gotta understand like. God says these things because he loves you. Like the relationship Jesus tells us to have with the Father in heaven is he's our Father in heaven. Everything that he puts out for you is literally for your benefit. It's for your benefit. Like there's reasons for it. Like he's not just giving you these rules to like, you know, just to like,
to bore you.
To just be over you. It's literally to help you out. And like the thing is too, once you come to Christ and you start following the commandments, like you realize like your life flourishes. It flourishes more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people like there's different reasons for it. And you know, I feel like everyone has their time. Like some people might never come to know Christ because like they just don't accept it. And some people will. Like, you know what I mean? Like Christ
do you feel like it takes a difficult time Because you talked about that, how that kind of led you to that path.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes people don't realize like they need God or God is there until it's that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, for example, like I said, like everything was perfect. Everything was perfect for me. I was sweet. Like I didn't like that's the thing. Some people like, why would I need God? Everything's so sweet. Everything's so perfect. Then as soon as like they're going through hard times, people find themselves praying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes you realize that, like some people, you know, you won't feel like you need a doctor unless you're sick, right? And that's how some people are. And you got to realize too, like God is with you at all times. He's always with you, whether you're on your highs or in your lows. You know what I mean? And it's being able to like to acknowledge that and love Him, whether you're winning or you're losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it takes a hard time.
My sister has this thing in her bathroom, and I always read it, and I love it so much. I haven't seen it actually in a really long time, but she like just got it out from hiding or whatever, and like had it in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool because it goes through like a whole story. I'm not going to bore you, but basically at the end, the guy's like, how come there's only one set of footprints? Like you weren't walking with me during this hard time. And then like Jesus responds, that's when I was carrying you. And I was like, dang, like, and it's so cool. I love reading it every time. Cause it's like, you think about that, you know, like when you're going through your hard times, you don't feel like you don't have anything with you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's important to believe in a higher power, something bigger than you, regardless of what that is. You know, because I do meet people that like they're not necessarily sold on the whole God part of it. They're definitely not sold on any of the church stuff, right? Anything like that, which is understandable. I was never ever into that stuff ever growing up. Probably more as an adult just now because I just see different value and context with it, right? But I find it interesting, like to see like which people or like at what times people kind of like learn about what God means to them, you know? Right. Or a higher power. Yeah. Even if it's various entities or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause that's the thing too, like there is no creation without a creator. There's no design without a designer. Even scientists have come to realize that the universe had a start. Yeah. Something had to start the universe. You know what I mean? Right. Like the universe is a creation. You know what I mean? The universe didn't create us. Something created the universe. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, like realizing like he's like there's a power out there and it's coming to having a relationship. You know what I mean? And like, you know what I mean? Some people will have their own paths and you know, their path will lead them to wherever it leads them. And like, I can just say, Jesus said, I am the truth, the way, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through me. So you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So how do you think, like, I'm just curious, like, how you feel your purpose in life has been like affected by that and by your relationship with God? Because obviously you're like a vessel to speak about God, you know, and like you use your platform in that way, which is good, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting because like, I kind of realized like before I was like with Christ, it's like kind of like living for your own, like living for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you, like, I feel like if you're walking through life, like you're not by yourself, but feeling like you're by yourself and you just like, whether you're living for money, you're living for fame, clout, yourself, like, you put these things like before you, but like all these things can disappoint you. You know what I mean? Like money comes and goes. You know what I mean? If you're living for money, what happens when you don't have money? Right? You're going to be sad and depressed. You know what I mean? Like, right. If you're living for people, like people come and go, people disappoint. You know what I mean? Like, like you have to remember, like you have a soul and you have a creator for a soul. You have a source of life. You know what I mean? And that source of life is God, and God calls you for a relationship. Like he wants to be with you. You know what I mean? So it's about like finding that and accepting that and like letting Christ into your heart. You know what I mean? He calls you for your heart, because there's nothing you can really do to like, there's nothing you can do that's like, that can like get you into heaven. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing you can do because we all come short. That's why Christ came down for us, to build a relationship for us. Like the struggle is not on you. You know what I mean? It's not on you because everyone comes short. No one's perfect. You know what I mean? Right. That's why he comes to have a relationship with us, so we can be bonded through him. Yeah. And that's why Christ died on the cross for us, because his death paid for our shortcomings. His death paid for our sins so we can be reunited. You know what I mean? Like he died for us. It's not about what we do. It's about what he did. Yeah. Yeah. The burden is not on us. Don't even worry.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't even worry.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Matthew 6:25. Love that one.
Yeah, I love that. I love how confident you are with your belief. You know what I mean? Like, you just, the way that you speak about it is like, it's so certain, and it's, how do you think that shaped you, like, as a man?
I think, honestly, it's done amazing things. It's done amazing things because, like I said, like, it took the worries of the world off my shoulders. Because the world, like, I have no control. I have no control over the world myself. You know what I mean? Like, for me to take that weight and put it on me.
What control do we have? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
When you think about that, you're like, and then it's like, that right there in itself is such a burden. You know what I mean?
Right. And when you put God first, you know He's gonna take care of you, and like He'll shine the path for you. Like, it's so sweet. Like, I don't have to worry about tomorrow. I don't have to worry about later on the line, because I know, like, whatever path is laid out for me, I let it be God's will that is done. So whatever happens is like, okay, like, this happened for a reason. I'm gonna grow from it, and then we're gonna shoot forward. Like, I don't have to worry anymore.
I find that's what makes it so easy to stay positive. Is when you don't have those worries and burdens, and then you just accept it. Then it's like, every situation, no matter how hard or difficult, it's easier to stay positive, because you're like, well, I know that there's, like, I know there's something that's, you know, good out of this.
Yeah, 100%.
Even in the worst scenario.
Because that's the thing too. Like, the thing about, like, suffering and everything. Like, even God Himself coming down in the flesh suffered, and He suffered for us. The crucifixion was literally invented to be the most painful and suffering way to kill someone, and humiliating. Before they put you on the cross, they literally take a whip with bone shards at the end of it, and they whip the flesh off of you. Christ, He didn't have to go through that. He didn't, but He did it for us. He literally took the skin off of Him, beat Him up, spit on Him, made Him carry a cross, nailed Him to the cross as He's hanging there. Literally, like, the thing about hanging from the cross is that you're literally being crucified. You literally can't breathe. You have to, like, the nails are at the bottom of your feet. You literally have to push off to exhale. Your back is sinking down, and you're suffering. You're suffering. Yeah. And He did that for us. He could have stopped that at any moment, but He did it for us. Like, yeah, like, even God Himself came down and suffered.
That reminds me of, my friend was telling me about his experience doing ayahuasca. Okay, obviously, he wasn't getting crucified, but he was like, that was like, the only way he described it to me was like the ultimate suffering.
While he was on his trip?
Yeah, because when you're when you're that, like, high, like, obviously you're being guided by, like, you know, the ayahuasca, I don't know what they're called, like the guides or whatever. Right. But he said, yeah, like, you're sick, and like you just feel like you're being expelled of like whatever, like whatever. To him, it really brought him. Actually, to him, it really brought him, like, in a higher, like, God, I'm like so off today. I'm so tired today.
No, you're good.
It brought him to, like, being able to, like, see things differently, like, more spiritual, actually, because he wasn't very religious and spiritual, I would say, before this experience, but now he's very different. He also, like, was really scared of, like, all kinds of stuff, like, even socializing with people, talking to people, things like that. Like, it really truly changed him. Right. And it just, that what you were saying just really reminded me of that. Like, that's like, people are like, oh yeah, let's go do ayahuasca now. But it's like, they realize it's like, they're just straight up suffering, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, they have all these realizations because, you know, they go and do this experience, but it's like the only worst thing they've ever gone through. Like, to me, that doesn't sound like anything I would choose to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, drugs are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to make me, like, feel like I'm being crucified or something. Yeah, like, that's crazy. Yeah. Drugs, like, the thing about drugs too is, like, I kind of like stay away from them now. Like, of course, like I don't condone, like, drug use. Like, I experimented when I was younger. Right, with all the stuff, like, don't recommend it. Like, just stay away from it. Like, keep your mind pure and clear. You know what I mean? Don't recommend it. Yeah, don't recommend it. Like, even now, like, I'm drinking a little bit of caffeine right now because, like, I just kind of like, you know, like, it'll be like let's do it. Well, you had training at 5 a.m. already. Yeah, Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. Train like 2 to 3 times a day. That's good. Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't, like, do any, like, recreational drugs. Like, I cut all that out. Like, I don't even drink coffee because I just let the Holy Spirit guide me. Like, my energy comes from the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty sweet, but like keep your mind clear. You know what I mean? Like, drugs, like, oh man, like I like, it's okay. You don't need drugs, bro. You don't need it. I promise.
nice. You don't need it. You
Yeah.
can get around without it.
You got to be high off of life.
High off of life. Yeah, like look, breathe the air. Look outside. You not see like
It's
the clouds.
yeah,
the
today's
air.
a beautiful day.
Yeah, like.
Well, I tell people too, you know, and I actually posted this morning something about like counting your blessings, because I feel
100%.
like even when you're in the
100%.
worst scenario, right? Like even you were talking about, that was like kind of like your version of like, because everyone has a different version of rock bottom too, you know.
100%.
My rock bottom is gonna look different than anybody else's, but I feel like counting your blessings is a big thing, and people forget about that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you get so focused on the things that aren't working out in life,
Right.
that you're like, wait, what are the things that I have around me? Like, what are the things that and I'm not talking about like physical things, like items, but I'm talking about, and the reason I bring this up, you know, I have friends that come to me a lot for advice or whatever. Maybe they're having a hard time. And I just remind them, I'm like, dude, look at the family that's around you. Look at the friends that are around you, that are supportive, the friends that you can lean on.
Right.
Like, I believe all of those things are brought to you and given to you,
100%.
you know, throughout life. Those are blessings. You know what I mean? Like my dog is my blessing, my friends, like the opportunities, job, you know, the job blessings, whatever blessings, like, dude, everything, you can look at everything as a blessing.
100%.
And you can look at everything as not, right? If you don't appreciate it, like, I can have everything in the world and be like, oh, who cares? You know?
Yeah, it's really important to be like thankful for like things, like realizing like there's so much in your life to be thankful for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because there are things in life that, you know, aren't nice, or you wish could be different, wish could be better, but like you gotta like be appreciative of what you do have, because there's someone somewhere in the world who has less. You know what I mean? And even that person can find happiness in what they do have. It's really important about appreciating what you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, because you can look at it from 2 point of views, and I can tell you right now, looking at it from the lens of like, ooh, it's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you. So yeah, it's very important to be grateful for what you do have. 100%.
Yeah, I think everything starts from there, because if you're grateful for what you have, you know, even when you are wanting to get these other goals, because even you, like, you have so many championships, right? And like you've accomplished so much, which is great. And then it's kind of like, where do I go from here? You know what I mean? So now, yeah, you can make another goal, but it's like, okay, I'm good where I'm at too. You know what I mean? Like, you're appreciative, and that's all part of your journey too. Like, each thing. What was your most favorite win, you think?
Oof, that's a good question. Cause I've had like a lot of like cool wins. I mean, like,
moments.
I fought a UFC fighter in September, and I beat him. That was cool.
That is cool.
I think.
How was that? I would never do that.
yeah. I fought Luis Pena.
That's crazy.
That's on YouTube. Kurvon.battle versus Luis Pena. But that was sweet, because it's like that was like the longest fight I've had so far. Like, we did like 5 3-minute rounds.
Wow.
Usually I do like 4 2s or 3 2s.
Wow.
And I was like kind of like nervous at first, like am I gonna be able to last up? Like, is my cardio good? But like, I was staying like perfectly fine. Yeah.
Wow.
And like it was just like that's such a fun fight for me to look back. Like, I literally fought a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And I beat him. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Like, all right, well, if I'm at this level, then like let's keep going.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
And I got a belt for that one too, so that's cool.
Dude, I'm so excited to see like the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Coming up. Yeah, dude, I'm stoked. By the way, Battle does have, do you want to talk about that? Your clothing line?
Oh yeah,
he has his own clothing, and I'll link it in the description.
Yeah, Battle Ready Fight Shop, baby. Let's go. My website's down right now, but I do have an Instagram page. I sell like Muay Thai shorts, MMA shorts. I got shirts. Like, shoot, even right now I have headgear. I have a couple left, so if you want to get some headgear, let me know. But yeah, like, I got the fight shop, you know what I mean? Like, just support the battle, you know what I mean? Are you battle ready? Like, let's go, baby.
I love that. I love that because it's also your name.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like, which is like so ironic. Did you ask your parents like how that came about, or? Because obviously it's a coincidence, right?
Yeah, right.
They didn't like know you were gonna be a fighter.
Nope. That's the cool thing. Like I said, like everything happens for a reason. It happens the way it's supposed to. Like, what are the chances? My last name is Battle.
Right.
I'm a fighter. Right. Like,
and every fight is a battle.
Every fight is a battle.
And even, I for me, like, because I got into jiu-jitsu, as you know, like for me, like the biggest battles are within myself. Like, it has nothing to do with like who I'm fighting.
100%.
You know. Which is what you were talking about, like the whole mental thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you can before you even step into the ring, you could like you can already defeat yourself mentally.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like really big to have like the mental strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you keep yourself sharp that way? Obviously, you already kind of went over how you like keep your mind pure in the ways of like you don't do drugs, and even to the point where like you're not doing caffeine, which is great because now you're just allowing yourself to just mentally be wherever you're gonna be, right? Mm-hmm. But like, how else do you kind of work on that mental toughness or mental strength?
Right. It's funny. Like earlier in my career, I think like I would just train like I still train hard, but like just train really hard and just be confident in my training. And it's the fact that like I fight for fun, like it's fun. So like I'd be excited.
That's true.
As of right now too, like it's like a lot of prayer and it's just knowing that like knowing now that like I like this was like destined to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm here for a purpose, here for a reason.
It's crazy because it that's how it feels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, yeah, just like, and too like I'm blessed to have like now I have on my side like Christian Lee, like the world champ. He fights for like one championship, double champ.
That's
right.
amazing.
He's one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I'm his training partner. Thank you, Lord.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So he's also on me too about like just being like mentally tough and like my training sessions went from like 2 hours, so now we do like 2 hour 30 to like 3 hours now of training, and the whole time it's just like mental sharpness. You know what I mean? Just adrenaline spike.
Yeah.
So like I feel like I like mentally tough. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to think like this is like literally what I prayed and asked for. Like, you know what I mean? To strengthen me. A lot of people realize like if you ask God for strength, He's not gonna just give you strength. He's gonna give you challenges to make you stronger.
Right.
He's gonna give you exactly what you ask for. It just might be in the way that you think. You know what I mean?
Right.
You ask for patience. He's not gonna just give you patience. He's gonna put you in situations where you have to build patience.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
Blessings.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people. Yeah. You gotta realize what you're asking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You be careful what you're asking for, because do you really know what you're asking for?
Yeah, for real.
What message do you want to give people, maybe who, just in general, or maybe who don't necessarily believe in God? I wonder.
If I was to give you
messages,
if I was to give you guys a message, I would say, come to know our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He died for you, okay? And His words are, do not worry about your life, what you'll eat or what you'll drink or what you put on your body, what clothes you wear. Is not life more than clothes, and the body more than food? So just put your faith in the Lord and just try it out. Try it out, you know what I mean? Take your time, because nothing's going to happen overnight. Just try it out and just like look forward to tomorrow and just live, all right? You know what I mean? Just open your heart and like it'll come through. That's all I got to say is open your heart, all right? Don't have a hardened heart. Open it up and you'll see it all flourish, I promise.
I love that.
Yeah. Keep the heart open.
I believe in that because I think at all times too, because I mean there'll be times like somebody even like comes up to you and you're like, oh, like I even see it within myself, you know, like
right.
Not necessarily like a homeless person, but let's just say like it's just like maybe someone comes up to you and you like don't know what they're gonna ask. You don't know what's going on, you know. You don't know what they're gonna ask you. You don't know who this person is. And the reason I think of this scenario is because I feel like it happens to me a lot. And my first initial reaction is like to protect myself, like mentally. I'm like, you know, who's this person?
Right.
But then I just start like kind of just asking them more questions. There was actually a member at the gym that like everyone was like, oh, it's so weird or whatever. And then I ended up talking to him, and like he's like a super cool dude.
Right.
Like you would almost never know until you like really did stay open-minded, you know, and like ask the questions, and then they kind of do open up to you, like, oh, this is like X, Y, and Z, and you're like, damn, dude, like this explains exactly like who you are today in front of me, and it's like, that's crazy. Yeah,
you gotta see everything as an opportunity, you know what I mean? Like, everything is an opportunity. So like even like people coming up to you, like a lot of times people will like get like closed off, like, oh, like but like
right
even like to criticism. But
do you think people get attracted to you too? People that are lost because you're so found, you know, in like what you believe, what you know, or do you think people also kind of veer away from you for that reason? I wonder. I'm just curious.
I like to believe people like kind of like naturally come towards me, because like I'm very open. Like if you come to me and like try to talk to me, like I will talk to you. You know what I mean? Like very my heart is very open and it's very giving. So if you come to me, I will help you out in whatever way I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also because Christ compels me not to lie. That's another thing that's really cool about following the commandments the Lord has for us is something about not lying is a lot of people don't realize
it's freeing, dude.
It's freeing and it keeps you away
to just
from doing
be
things.
Truthful and it's so much easier to do that.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend are just like that. We're literally twins in that way that I'm dude, I almost to a fault where I just can't lie.
Right. Yeah, when you hold away from lying too, it kind of keeps you away from doing things that you would lie about later. Sometimes
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because if I can't tell my mom what I'm doing, then I probably shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That conviction.
Right.
That conviction. So that's the thing about sin too. Sin literally it just means to come short. So if you in your heart, if you feel like what you're doing is wrong for any way, if you feel like what you're doing is wrong and you still do it anyways, you've come short of your own moral compass. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you feel like you should do something that is right and you don't do it, that's also sin. You've come short of your moral compass.
Right.
So that's the thing, yeah.
Actually, that's interesting to talk about. What do you think about the generations? I mean, what generation are you technically part of? How old are you?
I'm 22. So
okay,
so that's
you're 22. What do you think about people within your age group and after you? The reason I ask that is because I'm almost 35. I'm gonna be 35 this year. I know I don't look.
Congratulations.
But I'm probably one of the more unique generations only because I grew up in a time where I got to have a childhood and play outside, and then the internet was introduced to us.
You're right.
So then we had the transition to the internet, and I remember my parents being really weary about cell phones and internet, too much of it.
Right.
Because we were still they were still trying to get us to go to college and all that. So that kind of stuff was really limited. I mean, I could still do it. Obviously, I had a cell phone and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was very if your grades weren't good, then all that was getting taken away.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, just with everything, your generations, and because what you're doing and what you do, obviously you're following in the path of God. You're on this great path, and you have a career. You know what I mean? You kind of know your path a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I'm just curious your thoughts. Because there's a lot of lost people,
There is, and I feel bad, and it hurts my heart. It really hurts my heart to know that my generation was so tricked with social media and the phone. The phone, there's nothing wrong with social media or the phone. It's meant to be used as a tool. But
we're on it right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's meant to be used as a tool.
But we're using it to give messages right now.
Exactly. Because any tool can be abused. For example, you can take a hammer. A hammer is a tool, right? And it's good for beating in a nail. But once you start beating in that nail beyond the point, now you're doing damage. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel there's so much things that are pushed on, pushed in the media that hurts the brain. For example, porn. For example, terrible. It's terrible for you, especially if you're a young lad. Don't fall into the trick. It's not good for you. And I feel in our media, sex and porn is so pushed. You know what I mean? And I feel it hurts. It's hurting the youth. And it hurts young girls and it hurts young boys who grow up and then there's problems. They don't even know where it comes from. And it's because they're
the influences.
They're being influenced by the wrong things. You know what I mean?
What music do you listen to?
What music? It's funny. Right now I'm actually listening to a lot of Christian rap because I used to think it's corny, but then I realized there's actually a lot of good Christian rappers out there.
There's really good Christian R&B too.
Yeah, dude,
I'm super hooked on that right now.
Yeah. Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I was just curious because I feel that's part of the problem too.
Yeah,
is when you start listening to music and you just start repeating these lines and you're wait, this is really disgusting music.
Yeah, 100%. Here's the thing, right? I take I said, I take Christ super serious. So I follow the commandments.
Right.
I've even been I forgot if the word celibate or abstinent. I've been celibate for a good minute now. And at first, of course, there's a big struggle at first because at this point I'm celibate for marriage. Also, I got baptized on Sunday.
Oh, congrats.
So yeah, yes.
Dude, that's a big deal.
Yes. And
congratulations.
Thank you. So
that's amazing.
Born again and I'm saving it for
Was that
marriage.
your first time?
I got baptized as a baby.
But it's different now because you're an adult.
Yeah, I'm an adult and I can make the conscious effort myself.
Right. That happened. Well, so I wasn't baptized at all as a kid. I grew up in the Catholic Church and stuff, but my dad failed at getting that done. but that's fine because I felt like it, for me, meant that I could choose.
Yes, 100%.
You know, like for sure, because I would have definitely felt weird about that. Like, oh, this just happened when I was a kid that I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I did go through a really tough time when I was getting divorced that led me to God myself. And then I did get baptized in the ocean here.
Right.
And so that was like, just for sure, life changing and just totally cleansing, you know. But that's a big deal, dude.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So like, any of you guys also for any of you guys out there who are like trying to like get rid of like the whole like lust, because lust is like a really like for example like in music and in media like sex sells, you know what I mean? Like it sells, and like it's a very reactive thing in your brain. Like for those of you who are trying to get over it and get past it, like you can do it, okay? Like if you need to pray and ask for the Lord to strengthen your heart and to strengthen your will, you know what I mean? Like the first like couple weeks might be hard, but you can get through it, you know what I mean? And I feel like since I've got like ran away from sex and I'm saving it for marriage, like I feel so free and I feel strengthened, and I feel like nothing is like I have no chains holding me back, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I can take over the world in a good way. You know what I mean?
In a good way. Yeah.
And just like saving it for marriage.
Well, the thing too is like that's very honorable too. You know what I mean? Because then whoever like dates you, and then if you guys get serious, like she knows what she's getting. You know what I mean? She knows that you're serious, and then that kind of allows you to kind of like expect that the person that you're gonna date or whatever is kind of up there too.
Right.
You know
yeah,
on
I mean? That same caliber. Yeah.
In that same caliber. Yeah, really, it does. You know.
And I feel like it's super good too for young men to like try to like stay away from lust, because like it helps you like focus, like because a lot of the young men like you know what I mean, like they're so distracted, you know what I mean, like as soon as they get an opportunity to jump on it, or like there's so much shame, like a lot of times like just sleeping around, there's so much shame you feel, and like it's such a distraction. But like when you're on this path and you're like, you know, you're like, my eyes are focused, you know what I mean? Like see a pretty girl, oh, okay, cool, boom, back on the path. Oh, okay, boom, back on the path. Like I don't even look, because like even Christ says too, like to even look at someone with lustful eyes, you're still committing the act in your heart. That's why it's important. Like it's not the action that's wrong, it's the heart. That's why Christ tries to change your heart. So like
that's interesting.
Yeah,
like,
that's
a good point.
It's freeing.
It goes because and that's like the ultimate control over yourself.
100%.
That's, you know, you have ultimate self-control. You know what I mean? Which is like not everybody can say that. You know what I mean? And that's important too, because you're preparing yourself and your path in your life for good, you know, and you already like know this is how I want to live my life, which most guys don't figure that out at 22 or younger. Right. Like that's pretty amazing. That, you know, the way that you live your life right now at 22, like that's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it feels good. Definitely feels freeing. I have a lot of like older guys come and tell me like they're impressed with it, because like as a young man like you can get like, it's very easy to get distracted by girls. Like it's very easy, and it can really take you off the wrong path, like, or it can really take you onto the wrong path. All right, so it's like
my friends and I had a saying back in the day, and it was like, chase women, lose money. Chase money, the women come running. Not that that's the goal.
But like,
when you have a mantra like that in your mind, okay, because it's not the best mantra to have, right? I realize, but because obviously, you know, because chasing money always gets you so far too, right? Then you get into greed and all that. But my point, because I feel like the real goal in life is having like the ultimate balance, which is like virtually impossible. Right. It's always impossible for some reason. But back on that saying in particular, I feel like, you know, when you focus more on self-work and your self-worth, which for me, getting back into church and getting back into praying and journaling and stuff like that really had me looking at myself and looking at like how my belief in a higher power and God was helping me. Right. My life totally changed. You know what I mean? So I was like, where am I going with that? Yeah,
it's something you said too that reminded me is like a lot of people like say like they don't like church, or they don't really rock with Christ because like some experience they had with a person in church or the church. I want you to remember that like Christ calls you to know him, okay? Because people are flawed. Someone can say something to you to make you upset. Someone could do something to make you upset. But Christ, like, I promise you right now, Christ not telling him to make you upset. You know what I mean? Like, Christ calls you for a loving relationship. You know what I mean? So don't let the actions of people or hypocritical actions rob you of the relationship you could have. You know what I mean? I think that's very important to know.
That's interesting. I think, you know, a lot of people don't like the idea of church and religion because when you have such man-made factors,
right?
It loses people,
right?
You know, and that's why I like to go back to, like, just for me personally, you know, and when I look back and think, you know, in my memory bank of growing up as a kid and what that meant, it's more than just everything that was going on in Catholic Church or whatever.
Right.
I was seeing my aunties and my uncles dedicating themselves every Sunday. Like, I would never fail to see my aunties and my uncles there. They were all there. That's where they were every Sunday. Like, that's it. There was no question, oh, where are they going to be at 8 or 9? Like, my aunt was there, my uncle was there, they were singing in the choir, they were a part of it. And that's the biggest thing I take away is their dedication and their love. Right. And now as an adult, when I think about not really just religion, because I don't even like to even use that. It's just such a term that turns a lot of people off.
Yeah, it turned me off for a while too.
And I'm not politically correct. I don't care. I'll say whatever I want to say. But all I'm saying is the reason I don't use that as much is because when I categorize it as spiritual, I feel like it gives people a different context.
Yeah, 100%.
And a lot of people, especially with like horoscopes and zodiacs and moon, everyone's obsession with the freaking moon and eclipses and crap like that, they connect better with that. Because you might not know a lot about the Bible. People think that, oh, let me memorize this Bible, right? Or like if they don't know anything about the Bible, if they can't repeat a verse or whatever, they feel so out of and it's not really about that.
Right, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But I think people get lost in all of that stuff. You know, and I try to focus it back on like, no. I think ultimately being a good person is a huge thing. But the commandments that we talk about specifically break it down more.
100%.
You know what I mean? Specifically.
Because that's the thing is, Jesus Christ, like, he didn't call us to follow a religion. He called us to follow him, to have a relationship with him. And through him, we have a relationship with our Father in heaven. That's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, because, like, religion, like, through religion, like, religion is, like, man-made and, like, man-constructed. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's where people get, like, I don't want to, And
even the word religion kind of, like,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I hated that word for the longest time.
What I got out of going to my church here, and people don't know because I don't ever talk about it, but when I do talk about it, I tell them, and I'm always open to going to, different churches, whatever. That's not the point.
Right.
For me, I felt so good feeling free singing about, because each song is like they talk about God, whatever, and you're like singing the words and whatever it means to you. I felt so good doing that. It didn't even matter, like, it didn't even matter. Like, you could have told me this was spaghetti religion, and I would have been like, cool, okay. It was the same feel. I'm just saying, like,
that's just funny.
Yeah, it was, and that's what it is. When you go to church, when people go, different people go, you're getting something different out of it. Right. I'm not gonna get the same experience you get from it, whatever. But I swear to you, when I went back to church when I was getting a divorce, like the message that he said was literally for me. Yeah. I was like thinking about it now makes me emotional. But it was for me in that moment. It was powerful.
I can definitely understand that. I can definitely feel that. Like, that's the thing is, like, Christ, like, he calls to touch your heart. You know what I mean? Like, he's not telling you to do these rules or to do this, do that. Like, he literally wants to touch your heart. And he wants to change it for you. That's the thing when you come to know Christ. Like, all the things that are, like, considered, like, sin and bad and all that stuff, like, he helps you, like, he helped, like, changing your heart. Like, you don't even want it anymore. You know what I mean? And, like, there's so many times that he's touched my heart.
Well, you find meaning in other better things. And I think that's what it is when we were talking about. And I what's crazy is, like, I feel like you got to be on again because there's so many other things that we kind of touched on. But what was I with the whole like pornography thing? It's true, you know, because things like that are wiring your brain in a certain way. And I feel like with the generations now, especially, and it was still obviously happening with my generation because when the internet started, that started a lot of different stuff. I mean, look at a lot of the celebrity lives that were changed because their sex tapes and for example, got exposed now. And how do those get even exposed in a way that's successful is the internet, right? Yeah. And now it's almost normal to have an OnlyFans account now. And that's not normal. It's not. You know, and I make this joke because I get asked about 5 times every day in my direct messages why I don't have one. And I say 2 things. Number 1, I had a loving father, so I don't have an OnlyFans account. But second, because trust me, I could take the easy way out and go open one. You know? The thing, I make jokes to my friends and I say, you know, in 10 years, I'm going to be the only person whose body's not on the internet. That's real. And then I'm going to be a real hot commodity because you're going to be like, oh my God. And the thing is, it's like, what value are you putting on yourself when you're putting everything out there for everybody? You know, do you think the person you're gonna marry is gonna be somebody that has an OnlyFans account? I doubt that. As a Christian man, that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's not, and that's like almost everybody I know now. I'm like, who doesn't have one? That's a shorter list. I don't know. It's tough. But me and my brother we do talk about it. Me and him talk about it all the time. We, and because I'm not judging anybody that has an OnlyFans. Right. That's not a judgment. Only God can judge you. 100%. Right? Let's go. I'm not judging. Yeah. It's just not for me. 100%. That's all. And when people ask me that, I say that. I was like, I have a loving father. I'm not doing that to him. He's not rolling over in his grave. Right. Yeah. Because there's a website that people can go to see everything. Yeah. That's not okay. That's the least I could do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, that's the least I could do, man. That I had a dad that loved me. Yeah, and for some of you out there who don't have who doesn't have that relationship with your parents, your mother, your father, whether it be like just know that have pride in yourself. Have respect for yourself, though. Yeah, have the respect for yourself. Hold your value. Yeah, I'm not saying if you have an OnlyFans you don't have value. I'm just saying. Yeah, 100%. I think you should question a lot of things and a lot of choices made in your life, and do you have to do that? Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. There's so many more honorable ways to make money. There is a lot of ways out there to make money, and you don't have to But I'm not judging. Yeah, you don't have to put yourself out there because it might. But I'm also not subscribing. I might look, but I'm not paying. But I already sinned, man. I sinned. I looked, but I didn't pay for it though. Oh, bro. Yeah. Don't worry. And I also pride myself off that. I've never subscribed to an OnlyFans account, which is nice. Yeah. Don't want to do that. How many people can say that? How many young men can say that they have never subscribed to someone's OnlyFans account? That's rare now. Damn. Even that's rare. Yeah. Thankfully, I never subscribed to that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But that's rare. Why? That's it's so normal but it's not normal, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I just think about that because we're not the only podcast that talks about that kind of stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You don't have to out yourself for money. You know what I mean? Because it might seem cool now. It makes us quick money, bro. But quick money has consequences. Whether it be OnlyFans or drugs, it has consequences. You know what I mean? So you're gonna regret it later down the line. You know what I mean? And if you're already here's the thing: if you're already down that road, you've already done it, and you're regretting it now. Just know you still have value, and there's still a way out. It happened. Okay, it happened. You have to acknowledge that. You have to accept it and move forward. You know what I mean? I do want to talk about self-forgiveness just real quick. We have 2 more minutes, but I think too, being able to forgive yourself, even if you make mistakes and you do grow and mature. Because, I mean, thank God I've made a lot of very honorable choices, and I've never made choices like that I've regretted. And a lot of that is because I did have 2 really amazing parents that made me think through things before doing them. Right. And I feel like if I can't tell my mom everything I'm doing, then I probably shouldn't be doing it. And, because my mom has her own opinions. But That's just how I was raised, and I like that because for me that it makes it easier to do things because I'm like, all right, if I don't feel, and I wouldn't feel good about that. I just wouldn't feel good about that. You know what I mean? I want to post things that I feel good about. I want to talk about things I feel good about. I also want to have things on my Instagram and that is posted that my nephews look at and are embarrassed. Because I have nephews. I have young nephews. Yeah. And nieces and stuff. Really but when my young nephews can go on my podcasts and like learn something of value, you know what I mean? Like to me, that's I think about that.
Yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, forgiveness is important because like I said, like for you of those who've like messed up and like it's eating you up, just know that like the shortcomings you've had, you can literally use those to help others, to either prevent them from making the same mistakes or help strengthen them through their mistakes that they already have made. You know what I mean? Like, it's very important. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even salt.
That's a good message.
Yeah, like even Christ said, like even salt that's lost its taste. Like it's like what good is it for? What good is it used for but to be thrown out and thrown onto the road? And the thing is, like salt that's thrown onto the road. For example, you can use snow, right? You throw snow or you throw salt onto the snow to help the cars not slip, right? You can be the salt to help others not slip. You know what I mean? Like
be salty.
Be salt. Be salt. You have value. You have a purpose.
I like that. With that message, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast. With that message, though, please put some of your questions in the comments because I do want to start doing this on the podcast where I do read some of people's questions and comments and things like that. So please put questions and comments, especially if you have questions for Battle or myself. I'd love to have you on again for like a part 2 after your fight and talk about how your fight went. Good luck to kurvon.battle on his fight April 20th. We're rooting for you.
Thank you.
And we're praying for you.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for joining. And thank you for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Or Kurvon will show you what he does. No, just kidding. Thank you, guys.
Shoots.